think I am live. I haven't been live in a long time, so let me check this iPad, see if I am actually live. Can people see me on here? Hope so. Give it a couple of minutes for some folks to get in here. Hopefully, people start watching. Purpose of this video or the purpose of this live is to answer questions, see what's going on with my fellow subscribers, and chat it up on this wonderful Sunday. Okay, I see some comments coming in. This is exciting. I love it. Love being able to connect with folks on here. And can y'all hear me clearly? Just want to make sure it's sounding good too. Okay, I see some comments coming in. Oh, perfect, perfect. We got people trickling in. Dope. But yeah, I figured I'd do this live because I got a bunch of people that recently subscribed to me. So figured it'll be a good time to chat with folks, get to know some people. Um, Also answer questions y'all might have, whether it's about me, whether it's about content creation, the whole 9 yards. That's the goal, is to tap in with y'all. So also I'll be adding a link. So if you want to come on live with me, chat it up, ask questions, chop it up, I'm gonna add a link in here in a few too. So y'all can click on the link and y'all will come up on the screen and we can chat. Let me see. Let me look at some of these comments because I do see them coming in. Hey Corey, hope your weekend was great. Yeah, my weekend's been chill. You know what I'm saying? It's been a great weekend. Very chill, not too busy, which is what I love, what I like. So I've been able to relax a little bit. But I hope everybody else weekend was going good too. Let's see. How are you? I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Blessed. Can't complain. A lot of things in the workings coming up soon. So I'm excited to share with you all some of the updates and things that I have coming up. I think I've really been in my content creator bag this year. So I've been enjoying life. I've been enjoying life. I can't complain at all. Somebody say, hey, from Houston, Texas. Hey, what's up? Houston, Texas in the building. I'm actually going to be in Houston for Afrotech this year. So first time going to Afrotech. So that's going to be dope. So if you happen to go to Afrotech, please let me know. Say, Corey, my man, what's the best way to get in contact with you? I'm friends with you on IG. Honestly, I don't be checking my IG messages like that. So it depends. It depends on what you need to get in contact with me about first, and then we can talk there. I do have a Discord group actually. So I be active on my Discord group. So let me share my Discord so y'all can join the Discord, because that's how I talk to a lot of people that support me and have questions. And we're trying to build the Discord group up a little bit. So let me get that link and so I can post it in here. So yeah, if you want to join the Discord group, here's the link here. Adding it to the chat right now. The purpose of this Discord group is so I can connect with you all more. So free, you don't have to pay, you don't have to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? It's just for you to connect with people that support me, but then also I can connect with you all because it's hard to connect with people on comments on YouTube, Instagram. I get flooded with um, comments and stuff like that and messages, so it's hard for me to kind of tap in sometime. But this Discord group, you can message me on there. We have chats, we have discussions. There's different channels, so I'll say definitely if you really trying to connect with me, join that Discord group for sure. Um, let's see. Good evening. Good evening. Somebody said, met you back at Ponce in 2019. Would love to connect with you soon, man. Caleb, yeah, what's up, man? I remember that. You was with somebody else too. I forgot his name, but he was with another dude. Hope you're doing well, Caleb. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, I know you're a fellow South Carolinian too. So it looks like Anderson, South Carolina. Okay. Uh, but yeah, I do remember meeting you, man. Definitely got to tap in soon. Let's see. Yeah, see if this Discord group, see if this Discord is working because I know the link wasn't working at first, but I just posted a new one in the chat. So see if that works. Somebody said, hey, from Georgia. What's up? What part of Georgia? I think it's Tamara. Which part of Georgia are you? You in Atlanta too? Somebody said, yo, I'll fry you in basketball. Man, man, come on now. Come on, man. I don't be balling like I used to, but I still got some skills for sure. I'm a shooter now though. I'm a shooter now. I don't be driving in like that no more. I don't be, doing nothing fancy, I'm 32 now, so I ain't trying to do too much. But when I get out there and I'm open, 9 times out of 10, I'm a jack that joker. Let's say Gary. Nice to meet you, Gary. Say, hey, Corey, started following you a few months ago and loving the content. Just started with Google in July as a DC tech. Oh, that's dope. Fellow Googler. That's what's up, man. Hope you're enjoying it. Looks like you're still kind of new. Definitely let me know how your experiences is going. I say Crystal, newish subscriber. Your content really got me through a rough patch. Thanks for the encouragement of your videos you provide. I appreciate that, Crystal. That's the goal of this channel, man. Like the goal of this channel is more than just putting out content, getting brand deals, growing the platform, but it's really to connect with people and also show that we all go through like the same things in life. And sometimes you don't really see that. Everybody want to showcase the glorified, this is what I'm doing, this is what I got, but not many people really willing to be real and authentic and be vulnerable, and I think that's one thing about my channel that I try to keep incorporating because like you said, if somebody might be going through a rough patch, maybe I went through that rough patch and maybe I can give insight on how I got through it, and hopefully that kind of helps you out too. So I'm glad that my channel is resonating with you for sure. Appreciate you for supporting. Frederick Presley, what's up, bro? Go Mob, man. Go Mob. Hopefully, I'll see you at the South Carolina conference later this year, man. Next time I'm in Sumter, I definitely got to tap in with you, hit you up. I've been promising the next time I'm in Sumter to hit you up so we can grab lunch or something. That's my bad, man. But I haven't forgot. But thanks for coming on here, man. Hopefully everything is good with you. Caleb, you and D Dames need to collab again, man. I love your last. Yep, man. D Dames, that's my boy, man. Bro, for sure. Great content, like-minded. It was an easy collab. So he's supposed to be coming down here to Atlanta one of these days. So we gonna chop it up again, and we gonna get some more content popping with D Dames for sure. So Let's see. Corey's channel has professional and useful content. Of course, trying to be different out here. We got a lot of content that people watch and it just don't be, it's just for fun or it's just for laughing, which, I try to make mine entertaining as well. But I also want people to learn too. And I also want people to gain some tips and some valuable information. Gary, it's great. By the way, yo, to the noops in the chat. Ah, the noops in the building. Gang. Okay, okay, okay. Dang. All right. No love lost. No love lost. We got a couple Sigmas in the building too. Go mob to the Sigmas in the building. Oh, I got my first question from Angela. Appreciate you, Corey. I love your channel. How do you balance your corporate job and being creative? Do you put equal time in both? Okay. Good question. Um, honestly, it takes a lot to balance both. Like I say all the time, I enjoy, being able to do both. I'm not quite at the point where I want to go full content creation. And I love my job enough to want to stay there and not just want to go full content creation. Um, but I think the way that I balance content creation and my corporate job is I just set aside, um, so my job, like I said, is gonna get from about usually I log in at about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I start working and latest I'm trying to work is 6 o'clock. Cause after 6 o'clock, that's when I'm trying to work on like my content and things that I have to do for my personal brand and things like that. Of course, it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you got to work a little bit later, but typically I know when that's going to be and I'm able to organize my calendar. But the best way to balance both is being strict with your calendar your schedule because there's a lot of things that can kind of get in the way, of course. But for me, it's like if I'm going to dedicate time to content creation and building this brand and building on this platform, then I know that I can't half-ass it. You know what I'm saying? I know that I'm going to have to treat it just like a job. So I think that helps me balance it, but also I love it. I think anytime you love something, you have a passion for it, you find time to keep going and pushing. Um, but one thing about me, my calendar app, if I could show y'all, I don't know if y'all can see this, but my calendar app, if y'all could see that, I don't know if it's gonna focus, but look at that. I got all them dots mean that it's something planned on all those days. You know what I'm saying? So I make sure that I put everything in the calendar, family, friends, relationship, Emerging 100 of Atlanta, my job, content creation, everything goes in my calendar because if it doesn't, it's probably going to get, lost in the sauce. Um, so that's how I kind of balance both. Hopefully that helped you, Angela. But happy to dive deeper if you have any other follow-up questions after that. Day love, are you single? No, I'm in a relationship. I am in a relationship, a lovely relationship. But yeah, any of y'all have any other questions? You know what I'm saying? I know I'm on here till about 9 o'clock, we gonna be on here chatting it up. So, I want all the questions. I want all the questions. Bring them to me. Bring whatever you got. Content, relationship, Google, Atlanta, whatever you want. If you want to know more about me, bring the questions, you know what I'm saying? So um that's what I'm here for to answer some of those questions. Let's see. Oh, we got a good one here. Why did you decide to start? Actually, I'm gonna show it right here. Why did you decide to start a YouTube channel, and did you need to get approval from Google before you starting it? So I had my YouTube channel before Google. So I had my YouTube channel starting in 2017. Really got serious with it in 2018. Um, so I had my YouTube channel before I started at Google. Uh, Typically they don't mind, Googlers having YouTube channels at Google, as long as you're not sharing information that you shouldn't be sharing. So my channel isn't revolved around specifically working at Google, giving, insight on stocks and stuff like that. Like my channel is about me, and I just happen to incorporate sometimes me going into the office, but it's not something that I needed approval for because I've already had this platform before, you know, um, being at Google. But that's a good question. I did decide to start the YouTube channel because when I first got out of college, it was more so of like I had aspirations to do something outside of just work. And I knew I was good with the camera. I knew I was good with photography. I knew I was good with like videography. So I was like, I'm just prop the camera up, hit record and see where it goes. And I loved it. I loved talking in front of the camera. I loved just being able to showcase different things about my life. But when I first started, it was just giving advice about fraternities and sororities for people like that was in college that was looking to join. So that's where I started. And then maybe a year or two after that, I pivoted into like lifestyle because I knew like just talking about fraternity sororities wasn't going to be sustainable for me, especially as I continue to grow and level up in my life. Even though I'm still active in my fraternity, serve on a regional board and things like that. But I knew I wouldn't be able to continue to pump out the same content over and over. So I switched to like lifestyle. So now some of you all that watch my channel now, you should see that it's vlogs. You should see that it's self-development. You should see that it's productivity. You should see that I'm sharing vulnerable moments of things that I go through throughout my life, throughout my lifetime that could potentially help others because some people just don't talk about it. And being vulnerable. So that's how I kind of pivot into the content that I'm creating now. Let's see. Gary, that's a good question. In a perfect world, let me pull yours up. In a perfect world, what is your end game? Climbing the corporate ladders, investing into content business, living off of that. My end game is to go with how I feel. So my end game is always to like when I feel like I've given enough to corporate America and it's draining me, it's bogging me down, then that's my time to exit. If at some point I feel like content creation is draining me, is bogging me down, which I don't think so because I enjoy content creation. But my end goal is to continue to do both until I can't anymore. And then also my end goal is to eventually have my own brand as a staple of something. So whether that is some products, beer products, hair products, a wine, something. I'm toying around with different ideas to where my brand can be outside of content creation and I can have something that I can focus on in more so of an entrepreneurial perspective. Um, as far as climbing the corporate ladder, I'm not trying to be like the VP or anything like that. I got a promotion this past year. Probably going to look to get another promotion in about another year and a half, 2 years. So to me, I'm gonna continue climbing until I get to a point where I'm like, okay, I can't do both. I'm gonna have to choose one or the other. And I haven't been placed in a position where I have to like choose one or the other. So for me, I think it's just like enjoying both. I love both. I love what I do in the corporate world. I love what I do from a content creation perspective. So I don't know. That's my end goal right now is to really create a brand outside of just content creation, and maybe one day get into some acting. Maybe one day get into some modeling. I'm trying to figure out like different opportunities that I could see myself being in. So that's still kind of in the workings, but just gotta take it day by day. That's my job to take it day by day and go from there. Let's see, but that was a great question. I like that. I like that. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see. Are you trying to find another? Or are you still laid off? I was never laid off, man. I didn't get affected, thankfully, by the layoff. So that wasn't me. Let's see, Frederick. I see you with a question. Talk about your experience being featured in University of South Carolina's top tier retail sport manager publication. Congrats, man. Thank you. That was a huge accomplishment, man. Actually, I'm gonna share it. I think I could present on here. So I'm gonna share my screen real quick. And I can show y'all. I can show you better than I can tell you. So yeah, if y'all can see the screen right here, I graduated with a management degree, hospitality management degree, and my school, pretty much decided to write about me here, which was very surprised. I was very surprised when they reached out because they don't do this too often. But actually, I'm gonna post it in here too. So y'all can get the link if you want to look at it. But yeah, it meant a lot because, I feel like my major really helped me out as far as being who I am today. Hospitality management is more so focused on like restaurants, tourism, hotels, resorts, things like that. And the classes I've taken and took in those in that major kind of helped me out with things that I do today, whether it's finance classes, management classes, economics, public speaking. We took a lot of courses that kind of help business law. I use some of the stuff that I learned in business law now, but it really helped me out. So I would suggest looking at this article. I left a link in there. Definitely wouldn't mind y'all checking that out if you want a nice little read. But yeah, thanks for pointing that out, and thank you for. I'm assuming you probably read it too, Frederick. So I appreciate you for checking it out. Let's see here. Can you do a video explaining your editing process from when you upload your footage to the editing software until you upload it to YouTube? So you want the full slew of things. So I have that down in my notes app. So I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that because I do think it's important how everybody creates differently. Everybody have a different workflow. Sometimes you gotta see inspiration so you can find your own. So I'm happy with sharing that with you all. Honestly, my editing process is very straightforward. It's my organization process that's very, strict and by the book, like how I organize files, how I organize, projects and things like that. Cause it's a couple of projects that I'm like that I still work on to this day because I haven't released it yet, but you still have to have a place to store those projects and then be able to pick back up on those projects without losing like footage and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll show my editing process. But for you all that don't know, I use Final Cut Pro on a Mac. So that's how I edit. Honestly, I tried Premiere, a little too complicated for me, but sometimes Premiere might work for you. Might work for you too. So let's see. How did you meet your girlfriend? So me and my girl actually met. I'll tell you a quick story. So me and my when I worked at University of South Carolina, she worked in the Office of Student Conduct. At the time, I was in a relationship, but my coworker, Bree, she introduced me to her because they went to the same school together. So I just met her in passing, you know what I'm saying? Said, hey, what's up? We followed each other online. Never said a thing after that. Fast forward years and years and years later, I was like, you know something, I'm gonna hit that girl up that I met a long time ago and just see where it goes. You know what I'm saying? I hit her up, like, hey, don't mean to be weird, yada yada yada. Want to see if you're interested in getting to know each other. Boom. She let me know that she was in the process of moving. So if she's slow to respond, you know, um, don't take offense to it. So I really respected that because I think communication is very key. So since then, we never stopped texting since that day. Never stopped texting since that day. And then talk, communicated, and end up getting in a relationship. And it's been solid. It's been solid ever since. And of course, every relationship, it takes time to develop. It takes time to build into what you want it to be. But I think it's both as if both partners are receptive and willing to communicate and willing to work on things, I think relationships will be more beautiful. So, kudos to her, great person, and y'all be seeing her one day. Y'all be seeing her one day. Don't wanna, throw out there to y'all just yet, but y'all be seeing her on here one day. I'm gonna have a little conversation with her. I say it doesn't matter what software you use. I'm interested in the process. Got you. I got you. Yeah, I got you. I'm a definitely tap in on the process as well. So you talking straight from importing the footage from the SD card from the camera onto the computer, organizing it, and then chopping up and editing in the actual software, then the final output. Gotcha. That's on the list too. That's on the list too. But great question. Let's see. How do you decide on what content to share? Um, That's a good question too, because you get to a point in life where you just want to be in the moment. You just want to be immersed in what's going on around you and don't want to be recording and things like, excuse me, and things like that. So for me, I already know everything that I'm gonna do. Like I said, my calendar, y'all saw it earlier, my calendar is booked and busy. So I know I could look at my calendar and be like, oh, that'd be a dope event to record. Oh, I know I might could get some good footage there. Oh, I really want to be immersed in the moment. I'm not bringing no cameras. Oh, it's going to be a lot of people. I don't want to have to ask if you mind being in here and this and that. So I kind of I kind of see what I want to share. I kind of see what I want to have as just memories for just me and what I want other people to witness as memories for them and me at the same time. So that's how I decide what I want to share when it comes to a vlog. When it comes to like just being vulnerable on this channel, I feel like I have uh some stories, some storytelling skills. So for me, I try to incorporate storytelling in like vulnerable moments. Like I'm pretty sure some of you all probably seen the corporate America video. Some of y'all probably saw the divorce video I made years back. So for me, I think if some videos I know I'm gonna get backlash because everybody's gonna have different opinions based on what I'm saying, but I'm just telling my truth and I'm telling my story and my viewpoint on how I've been witnessing X, Y, and Z. So if I feel like it's going to help more than harm more, then I'm willing to share it. And if I feel like me keeping it inside and not sharing it is going to not help others one day that might be going through similar things, then that's just how I take it. But yeah, it is a process that I go through to decide what I'm going to share. So I just discovered your channel literally today. My friend shared it with me, and I've been binging. Oh, dope. I appreciate that. What videos you been watching? Let me know what videos you like the most since you just came through. But I appreciate you for coming through, checking out the live, binging some of the videos. It means a lot to me. Let's see. Mo Brown. I see your comments in the comment section a lot. So I do appreciate you for supporting me. Hey, Corey, appreciate your authenticity, vulnerability, you showing your content. Were you always an expressing vulnerable person? If not, what got you to that point? That's a good question too. So what got me into being vulnerable? First, let me rewind. No, I wasn't always like that. It took a lot of growth, maturity, and going through experiences and not saying nothing. And then also just talking to a therapist a while back that was like, you just need to share. You just need to open up. You just need to be vulnerable. And then I took that like being vulnerable with like my friends. And then I took that being vulnerable with my family. Then I took that to being vulnerable with like content. Like, I don't want to hide who I am. I don't want to hide what I've been through because your story can also help others. What you've been through can also help others. And a lot of people withhold it, which is perfectly fine. But sometimes people can prevent going left, or people can prevent taking the wrong way to addressing the issue if they've seen somebody go through something similar and they reacted in a certain way that they liked, and they can kind of behave in that way. So that's my goal, to really be expressive, be vulnerable, because that's when I'm most happy. If I can be vulnerable, open, and honest around whoever I'm around, relationship, family, friends, even work. I'll hang with you if I feel I can be open, vulnerable, and honest around you. And that's what's gonna make me happy, to be around people and to be around others. You know what I'm saying? So that's just like my mantra. I don't have too many people in my space, but the people I have in my space check those boxes off. I know 100% I can be open, vulnerable, and honest with them. So that's what got me into it. But yes, I definitely wasn't as expressive. I definitely wasn't a vulnerable person. You know, I can admit that. I can admit that. Let's see. Burkhead, hey, going about to hit sophomore year in college. I'm planning to get an internship next summer. My question is, how do you put yourself out there to get recognized? That's a good question. I don't know if y'all can hear that train out there, but that train be loud. Um, the way you put yourself out there to be recognized is, one, being open and vulnerable when you meet people, when you're networking. I feel like networking shouldn't just be transactional. You should be able to network for some type of commonality. You know what I'm saying? Like you see somebody, y'all like the same things, y'all could talk about the same things, and then you can kind of add in like, hey, do you know of any opportunities? I'm an XYZ sophomore, yada yada yada, looking for an internship, XYZ. And I think, people creating networking as like just building connections and not just transactional, you end up getting more out of the relationship in general. So I would say start networking for sure. That helps, whether it's LinkedIn is kind of hard these days, but find people that you can connect with that might can connect you with other people of different jobs you want to work at, things like that. But also to get recognized, I would say utilize your school's career center. They have resume books. You can input your resume there. They have career advisors you can talk to. They have people that can help steer you in the right direction. And then if you let them know what you're interested in, what you're trying to do, where you're trying to be, where you're trying to go, they can look out for you if they know an opportunity come to their office that you know you might be a good fit for. But just building those connections kind of help you. As long as you can start building connections early, or even get in the state of mind to where you can start building those connections early, it will help you get recognized. Also, I would say just being involved on campus. You know, it's going to take a little bit more than just being a general member and just going to meetings. You're going to have to be on the exec board. You're going to have to maybe be a co-founder of an organization. You're going to have to be a chair, a committee chair, or something like that, to really get recognized, because sometimes people don't see you outside of what you do. And that's just how the world works. People going to see you first for your appearance, and then they going to ask like, what you do. And you got to be able to paint that story and tell that story, and that will help you get recognized. Somebody be like, oh yeah, I met this cool kid, sophomore. He said he do this, he part of this committee, yada yada yada. You know, hey, I think you should give him a chance. You don't know what rooms your name will be in. You know what I'm saying? So I would say start with those. Hopefully that helps. Sorry about the long-winded answer. Let's see. Here comes the joy. How do you get sponsorships for your channel? Usually they reach out to me. So they reach out to me. There's also a couple of influencer agencies. So what that means is you can sign up on the agency. You have to input your channel information, subscriber count, what your channel is about, and you sign up. And then if your criteria meets what a brand is looking for, one of those influencer managers will reach out to you and say, hey, this brand is interested. So obviously is one of them. That's a good influencer agency where I probably got the most brand opportunities from. Obviously, that's what it's called. Also, another one is Popular Pays. Another one is Aspire. What's another one? Sway. Like there's a good bit of influencer agencies that you can reach out to. The Shelf. That's a good one too. Um, but basically, you just sign up on their website, and you just pray that you get reached out to one day. Also, I also do pitches. So sometimes if it's a brand I really, really want to work with, I'll pitch them. I'll send a deck, email, and say, hey, why wouldn't you want to work with me? So that's really how I get sponsorships for my channel. But also I gotta make sure it makes sense. So I'm not just the type of person where I'm gonna take any sponsorship, any person that email me, any brand that want to work with me. I'm very deliberate about how I incorporate sponsorships on this channel. So just know, if it's a sponsorship and I'm speaking about it, it's either I use that company or that brand, or it's a brand that I really trust, or it's a brand that I feel like have some type of trajectory. Because it's been small brands that I work with, but I see the vision. So that's typically how I go about sponsorships on my channel. But good question, man. Good question. Let's see. Tetra. Let's see. How did you get a job at Google? That's huge. Honestly, I say it was God, man. It was God. It was God how I got that job, how I got this job at Google. If y'all watch my corporate video that I made maybe a couple of weeks ago, I kind of outlined how it happened. But a recruiter just reached out to me on LinkedIn, and two things happened. One recruiter reached out to me from Google on LinkedIn for a contract recruiter role. I went through the interview process, was going through the interview process. While I was going through the interview process for that, another recruiter from Google reached out to me about a full-time recruiter role. So I stopped the process for the contract role and just went through the process for the full-time role. Took about 3 months to get hired due to interviewing and stuff like that, but, I'm blessed, man, I'm blessed, and, I think my experience and my background kinda spoke for myself and spoke for itself, and, I was confident. I think as long as you're confident in what you're able to bring to a company, I don't care if it's Google, I don't care if it's Apple, I don't care if it's NASA, I don't care if it's any of these big companies, you just have to be confident in what you can bring to these companies and your skills that you've obtained throughout the years. So, but yeah, I appreciate it. It is huge. I enjoy it there, man. I really do. Let's see, in my content. Oh, I'm about to say in my content bag. In my concert bag. Thank you for this channel. I study your vlog channel. Let's see. Other selected vlog channels to gather ideas and perspective of how I want my vlog to go when I started. Keep pushing, Chief. I appreciate that, man. I want to create more vlogs actually. Like I wish I could just do daily vlogs. I don't think that's part of my story just yet, but maybe one day if I go full time, I'm gonna probably do more vlogs. So I kind of have to pick and choose what type of video I want to drop. But I do appreciate you for tapping in and popping up here, man. Let's see, Charles, how do you balance content creation, corporate job? I'm mentally drained after my day job as a software architect. I kind of answered this question earlier, but I'll touch on it briefly here, so the folks that's been in here for a little minute doesn't hear the same thing. I think just being strict with your schedule is one thing, but also if you feel mentally drained after your day job, then that means that it's taking up too much headspace and capacity for you. In order to balance both, you have to be in a role where when you get off, it's not taking up that headspace and not taking up capacity in order to balance it correctly. Honestly, if my job was more stressful, if I had to work long hours, if I feel extremely drained after work every single day, it'll be hard for me to balance content. But fortunately, I'm able to balance it because I feel like with my job, I'm able to step away, decompress. Sometimes I have some long days, I can't lie, but most of the time I have a good work-life balance to where I'm able to do that. And not everybody is fortunate enough. But sometimes you got to dig deep. You got to dig deep to find that time, man. Sometimes you got to dig through the drain, dig through, being tired. It's sometimes where I may have gotten off work late, maybe 8 o'clock. For some reason, it was a late day for me, and I'm like, dang, I gotta submit this video to a brand, and I gotta edit it real quick and send it off, and I'll be done to about 12 a.m. But sometimes you just gotta dig and find it within, and know that you're gonna have time to rest the next day or the weekend or something like that. But it is hard to balance both, and I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat that. Let's see. Hey Corey, I've been on my current job for 12 years. I've become burnt out and want to move on. I would like to return to school, but I'm stuck on what I want to do. How do I figure it? That's hard too, especially when you've been at a job for so long, that comfortability, sometimes it's hard to walk away. But I will say, if you've been burnt out and you want to move on, I would say attempt. I know the job market these days is a little bit challenging, but I would say attempt to find maybe an internal role that would not have you as burned out, or maybe apply to some companies, or maybe find some companies that you're interested in, or some roles that you're interested in that's outside of your role. Um, because at the end of the day, you don't want to feel stuck and burnt out at the same time. I know how that can feel, but you just got to try. You just got to try to keep pushing. But also, if you want to return to school, that's the option as well. But I do know, the everyday life, the everyday scares of life comes along. You got bills, you got stuff you got to get. So I understand that too. But honestly, I would just tap into trying to legit find some roles that you would be happy in. Forget about all the money right now. Find out what's the minimum amount you can make. The minimum. I'm not talking about what you aspire to have right now. because the focus need to be not being burnt out and being happy. So figure out your finances and figure out what's the minimum amount you can make to still maintain your life. And that's just paying bills, keeping a roof over your head, and eating. All the extra stuff can come later, but you got to find a place to get happy and not be burnt out. You do that role for a little while, and while you're doing that role, maybe you can go to school part-time. Maybe you can, find another role, but you need to, that burnt out can get you. I've been there. So I say try that, and hopefully that works for you. And because when I worked at a center, I felt burnt out. I felt stuck. Maybe y'all, like I said, I say this a lot, but y'all might have watched that corporate video that I made, and I spoke about it freely there. But if you haven't watched that, Wesley Burkett, so are you not laid off? I was never laid off. I was never laid off. I wasn't part of the layoffs. Some of my coworkers were laid off, but I was not part of the layoffs. Tamara, you coming with the great questions. I appreciate you for sure. What motivates you to put out the content you share? So for me, what motivates me, honestly, is you all. And I'm gonna say that. Actually, I'm gonna say it to the camera. What motivates me is you all. And I'm gonna say that from the bottom of my heart. Seeing y'all comment, seeing where my videos help y'all out, see where me being vulnerable, authentic, real is resonating with you all and helping in some type of capacity. That what keeps me creating. Like I just want to make a difference in this world. And I feel like I have the platform to do so. So I'm gonna use it for good. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be posting none of this stuff that we see all the time that get a lot of views, I'm really just trying to come from it from a different angle, adding a little filmmaking in there, adding a little, storytelling, and hope that it resonates. So for me, that's what motivates me. But also, I enjoy technology. I enjoy messing with the cameras. I enjoy messing with the iPads, MacBooks, and stuff like that. So for me, I just enjoy shooting. Like I legit enjoy shooting. I legit enjoy messing with the camera. I legit enjoy editing. Honestly, if I could be a part-time editor, I would do that, but I don't have the time. So, that's what motivates me to share the content for sure. Good question. Good question. Leah Michelle, go Gamecocks. Hey, USC Aiken, what's up? Let's see here. My boyfriend and I are so proud of your accomplishments here on YouTube. Can you talk a little bit more about what kept you motivated to continue to post when you first started? Yeah, when you first start, man, I'm gonna say this. It's a lonely world when you first start on YouTube. It's a lonely world. It's one of them things where you post, you might get 30 views, 10 views, and you gotta fight through it. You got to fight through it. And that is so tough because we live in a world where it's like instant gratification. You know what I'm saying? Like if you post a video, you instantly got 1,000 views. That's that instant gratification. So if you post something and you don't get those views, you could think about it in a way like, dang, people not messing with me. But if people can rework their mind to know that the algorithm have to learn your way of content when you first start. And that's one thing that I said, like, I'm gonna come on here and I enjoy the camera and I enjoy being in front of the camera. So I'm gonna use this as a place to do that. I didn't care about the subscribers at first. I didn't care about, heck, still don't. And I think you have to come from it from that perspective to where that motivates you, just wanting to put content out there, just wanting to mess with the camera, just wanting to have a hobby at first. And that's what kept me motivated, honestly. At the time, I didn't think that my channel would grow to what it is now, So for me, I just had to keep that mindset. Like I knew coming in, I did enough research to know that it would have took me forever, to gain the amount of traction that I did. It went a little faster than I thought it would, but it still took a little minute, So that's the thing you have to come at it with. Consistency breeds success. No matter what you do in life, consistency breeds success. If you go to the gym every single day from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., you're gonna see some gains. That's some type of success. You know what I'm saying? You go to work every day, you bust your ass off, you're gonna see some type of success. That consistency shows success. And it's the same with YouTube and content creation. So if you are out here creating content, consistency, showing up for yourself and showing up for the people that's gonna be watching. But thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you and your boyfriend watched the channel. I appreciate that. See, what is your typical day like at Google, and what are some of the perks of working there? I would say take a look at some of my vlogs if you haven't. But my typical day at Google, I wake up, I get to the office by like 8:30, start working. Well, eat breakfast because they do feed us breakfast, eat breakfast. Then I start working. Sometime I work while I'm eating breakfast. I usually have about 4 or 5 meetings a day, depending on what season it is. Right now I have a bunch of stuff going on at work. So I have a little bit more meetings than that because of the season we're in. But that's how my day look. Meetings, talking to candidates, giving out offers, rejection calls, balancing my pipeline, talking to hiring managers. Um, what else? A lot of strategy meetings too. So that's what my day look like. But every day is different. Every day in recruitment is different, but same at the same time. Same tactics, but different scenarios, if that makes sense. Y'all asked some real good questions. I'm glad I did this live. How many of y'all on here now? 58. Yeah, I'm glad I did this live. Um, what I was gonna say. I think I done lost my place. Hold on. Okay, MC, I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel, but I am concerned about putting myself out there and potentially sharing too much personal information. Have you ever thought about that when you first started? Yeah, I think everybody go through that phase and that cycle, like, am I putting out too much? Am I not? Like, that's part of content creation. But, you know, there's a world where you can put out content creation and still be private. You know what I'm saying? I think I try to balance that line. Like, I tell stuff about myself, I tell stories about things that I went through. But I'm private about my relationship, I don't talk too much about it. I don't get too much into the weeds, that's just an area where, it's like my little baby. I'm like, I don't want that to be too showcased at this time. It's going to be one day, but that's my little baby. I don't want everybody to be all up in the know with it. So I think you just gotta pick and choose what you're willing to share, what personal information, what stories, what you're trying to share. For me, I'm willing to share stories that reflect how I live life. I'm willing to share stories about me and my trials and tribulations. I'm willing to share stories and share things that, like, if my family is cool with it, I'll talk to them before it. But that's, you just got to pick and choose what you're willing to. But everybody goes through that when they first start creating content, because it's like, should I share this? And if it blow up, everybody gonna know. I mean, yeah, that's a bullet you got to bite when you do it. Everybody is going to have something to say about anything you post. Some you may see, some you may not, and you just got to live with it. Just like when I did my talk about my experience in corporate America, some people made reactions like, oh, he just baiting, oh, he told this too much. And everybody's just gonna have their own opinion, and you just gotta live with it. And you can't respond to everybody that don't see the same vision and don't see the same thing as you. So I think that's something you got to take in with it. Let's see, Cody. I've been watching your channel for almost a year now, and it's great stuff. I know you touched on it with your calendar app. Any other tips how you stay organized? That's a good question, because I was just about to, in another question somebody asked, I forgot to say it, but yeah, my calendar app is what I use. I also use Apple Notes faithfully, but I recently got into Notion. Notion really changed my life as far as like keeping track of things, trackers. And actually my boy D Danes put me on Notion because he was like, yeah, you need to try it out. So I tried it out, found some templates, created my own templates on Notion, and I got folders just like my iMessage notes app, but that's how I stay organized with like doing things. Like if I have any task for brands, it's going in Notion. If I have anything coming up, probably going in Notion. If I need to do a quick note, it's probably going in my iMessage, not iMessage, iNotes. So those two apps kind of keep me organized, and the calendar app. But the calendar app is also hooked up to my Google Calendar. So if somebody send me an invite to do a meeting, whether it's a brand or stuff like that, it's just gonna pop up. So that's how I stay organized. Also, I keep a spreadsheet. I keep a spreadsheet of budget. So that way I'm not going over budget. That way I know what money is coming in, what money is coming out. So those are the typical ways I stay organized. Probably still need some fine tuning here and there, but it's been working. It's definitely been working. Great question, Cody, and appreciate you for watching for almost a year now. Nail Jew, you've been asked some good questions too. I appreciate you. So, how do you avoid getting drawn in from creating what you want versus what's drawing views via the algorithm? It can be hard not to get drawn in knowing you can draw higher views. That's true. You gotta stick to your guns. You gotta stick to your guns and what you know. You know, um, and that's just part of content. Some content is just gonna take time for it to see views. So, for example, right now when it comes to brands, finance videos, finance content creators make a whole bunch of money. You talk about budget, you talk about spending, you talk about credit cards, you talk about stocks, IRAs, all that. You're gonna get some brands reaching out and they willing to pay top dollar. You're gonna get some ads on your videos. It's gonna be high percentage ads. That's just the name of the game. And most likely the algorithm might push that out more. Me knowing that, I can make some finance videos, but do I want to? Not really. It just doesn't. I gotta want to do it. No matter what I know, I still have to genuinely want to do it. So that's kind of like what keeps me from like getting drawn in, because even if I see something, I'm like, oh, that video will get a bunch of views. It might be a car video, it might be a finance video. I'm like, that video will get a bunch of views, but I don't want to create a video like that. And that's how I don't get drawn in. But if I see a video and it's getting a bunch of views and I really want to create something similar, or I have a take that I could um add my own twist, I'll do it because I legit have that want. But if I don't want to do it, I'm not doing it. And I think that's how you got to stick to like being real and authentic to you. Because at the end of the day, a lot of content creators is going to blow up quicker than you, quicker than me, quicker than anybody else that's been doing it less. And that's just their journey. And your journey is going to be your journey for a reason. So I think that's how I go at it. And again, it's hard. But I do look at trends and see if there's any trends that I can add value or add my own twist to. But if it don't make sense to me or I don't want to do it, I just can't do it. That's just how I go, how I flow. Let's see, Caleb, what has kept you humble throughout the process? Oh, not the process, throughout success. Um, man, I think it's just my background, man. I come from Sumter, South Carolina. Ain't had much. I was happy when I first got my student refund check, a couple of thousand. I was like, man, I ain't never seen this much money before. So for me, it's just knowing where I come from, knowing my background, and knowing where I'm going, and knowing that it's more people that was in the position I was in than my actual current position. So I stay humble knowing that, hey, I know my story, I know my journey, and I'm not trying to tailor away from that. Nah, I'm not trying to be this person that never lived a certain way. Like I'm not trying to showcase a lifestyle and try to hide the past. Like I feel like what keeps me humble is trying to stay true to myself, going down my own road, my own path, and not really getting bogged down by the cloudiness that's out there in the world. So that's kind of like how I stay humble. And like even throughout the success, like I'm appreciative of everything that I've earned to this day. You know what I'm saying? The articles, the subscribers, the brand deals, working at Google. Like I am appreciative of it all. But none of this would have came without going through the struggles, without going through the background that I've been through, and that's what keeps me humble. But if I had a spoon, being fed to me, like if I had all this stuff gifted to me early on, then I don't think I'd be as humble, Like I legit went step by step by step. It wasn't no overnight success. It wasn't no trick that I knew. It wasn't like somebody gave me this killer instinct or this grand idea and I took it and ran with it. I literally started from ground zero and got to where I am today. So that's like what keeps me humble, enjoying the journey and knowing where I came from. But great question, Caleb. Mhm. I got a lot of good questions on here, but I do want to hold on one second. Um, if anybody want to join, come on live. I got about 5 minutes left. If anybody want to join and come on live, I'm gonna leave a link here, post it here, and we can chat live here. Um, if you click it, you won't instantly come up on here. I have to accept you in order for you to come up on here. But until then, I'll keep answering some questions. I love your real instant content. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate that. It's awesome. Thank you for how you conduct yourself and positive representing Black. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. See, do you put God first before you start your day? Yes, I do. I do put God first before I start my day. I do need to pray more. That's one thing I said I want to do. I found me a church home here in Atlanta. So happy about that. But I do put God first as well. Wouldn't be able to do any of the things that I'm doing today without God. See, glad to see your growth. Love the channel. Thank you, D. Appreciate it. Hey, Gia, what's up? Good to see you in here. All right, let's see. I got some people on here. I don't know who tried to join first, but I'm gonna add up. Hold up. I don't know if I need headphones for this, but we gonna try it. We gonna try it. So nailed you. I'm about to add you real quick. What's up? What's up? It looks like your mic is on mute, but maybe you can unmute yourself. I don't know. It's not letting me unmute you, but I can see you. I can see you. But yeah, say you're muted some way, somehow. Oh, let's see. I got somebody else here. Let's see if they come off of mute. Man,
Hey, it's
hello.
me. Hi, nice to meet you. Hi, chat. Hi, everybody. I'm a new
What's up?
subby, and I found your video uh, titled "A Black Man in Corporate America," and I was so taken by that because I have a dear loved one. She's in corporate America. She deals with stocks and trust and finance, and the only advice I can give, well, she's going through. She has a supervisor, a manager, because I'm like, is it your boss? Well, she's the manager. And she comes into her office. She has her own office, and she will enter her office and just look her up and down and go, you're showing too much skin. And she's like, well, you're, it's summer, your arms are out too. This manager also has her skin out, her arms. Yeah, yes, but I'm the manager and you're not supposed to have that much skin. So she'll
Oh,
just put her blazer on and just continue working. And then she'll come another day and look under the desk and go, oh, you're wearing sneakers. She was like, you're wearing sneakers. She'll look down at the manager's feet and the manager's also wearing tennis shoes.
mm,
And she's like, well, I'm the manager. The staff only wears sneakers on Fridays. So it's this constant, she doesn't knock on the door, just walks right in her office. And it's this constant nitpicking. And I'm like, well, why did she hire you? Because this is the same lady that hired her via Zoom or,
right.
that's how people are getting hired through the pandemic thing. Pandemic. So I'm like, why would she hire you and put you through this? She was like, I don't know. But it's constant haranguing. And I would told her, I said, you got to find Corey Jones on YouTube, find the video of his, his journey through corporate America. And I want your take on what do you do? I don't want to use the word bully, but constant haranguing. And these are grown-ups. My loved
Right,
one's in her
right.
50s, and the lady is older than her. So these are full-on adults.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It happens, you know. I think in that situation, that's very weird. That's something that I would kind of bring up to HR about because,
Hmm.
and also, is she the only one that's getting like nitpicked on when it comes to that? Like
Well,
any of the other
she's
team
still
members?
new. I think she's still on probation, so she don't want to go over her head yet. You're
Gotcha,
trying to make it through probation. She
gotcha,
got hired in April. What is this? August? So
gotcha.
I don't know. Is it 90 days? I have to ask her. But she just want to, ignore her, keep a low profile, just try to just get through the workday. And you're dealing with people money. She's in finance. So
Right.
she's trying to stay lucid and clear to get through the workday. But she just walks in her office and stares at her hair and what how did you do your hair like that? Can you cover it? It's just it is a racial difference, in case you're curious. So I'm like, is this do you think it's racism? We don't know what to make of this type of harassment. It's just
Right.
very weird. Hmm.
Yeah, that is weird. I would say since she just started, I would say just have her document it and keep it as a mental note for now.
Okay.
And since that's her manager, I'm pretty sure she'll have like a performance review and things like that, and where she could like really. Typically, it's supposed to be like two and two. Like performance reviews supposed to be like the manager tell where you can work on. Usually the manager solicit feedback. I would just tell to have a conversation like, hey, I noticed, when I first started working or still now, it's like I'm wearing shoes or you're commenting on X, Y, and Z. Can you walk me through like, what's the actual policies when it comes to that? Just want to get, clarification. But I do think it's a conversation that's worth being had. And if she still feel bullied, then I would definitely go to HR about it for sure.
Okay, I'll share this video with her because I
Yeah.
think she's looking for new work. But I told her there's a-holes everywhere you go. What if
That's
there's a
true.
new a-hole where you go
That's true.
someplace else? So yeah,
That
but
is
she's still
very
looking
true.
for something new. But yeah, I wanted to. This is so good because I directed her to your channel. So this
Well, I
is good that
appreciate you
you're
for
doing this.
directing her to the channel too, and I appreciate you for
Mhm.
coming on here to chat with me.
I
I'm gonna let
appreciate
somebody
it.
else come on up and
Okay.
appreciate you so much.
Likewise. Bye bye.
All right, Nelja, I think you might be
Hello.
ready.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you
I
now. Appreciate all the
apologize.
great
That was my
questions.
first introduction into StreamYard. Thank you for having me on, Corey. Your channel is awesome. I happened upon it several months ago when I started my journey, taking my journey seriously, building my channel. But I do have a question for you, and I hope it's not too intrusive. Anton Daniels did a reactionary video about your being Black and working in America as a man,
That's all.
and misread the entire video and was quite out of line with his response, in my opinion. I'm curious to know because I wrote it in the chat. Do you happen to have, or how do you feel about the fact that he put you in the spotlight like that and then misread what you were expressing? And then, do you have a response?
That's a good question. Yeah, I saw the video. I think when it comes to other YouTubers reacting, they find little small things to react off of versus the actuality of the videos. So I've seen that on several occasions where even just not me, where I could be looking at another YouTuber, they're reacting off of another YouTuber, and then I go actually watch their video. I'm like, I don't see how they saying this, but
Mm.
um, I honestly think his take was very left. And I feel like it didn't come from a perspective of really understanding the corporate world when it comes to being a Black male in corporate America. Of course, everyone will have their own different opinions. They have their own different stories, their own different experiences. So for me, I was just speaking about my experience. It might look the same as some, it might look different, but it's supposed to tap into people that went through some of the same stuff and hopefully can feel a little bit at ease because of that. So for his video, more power to him. What I'm saying, he had the right to his opinion and it's public information. So I don't have much to comment on it, but I did watch it. And I was like, yeah, you taking this out of context for sure.
I appreciate your humbleness. Thank you so much. No, congratulations on the 100K goal reach and your plaque, as well as thank you for all the content that you provide and allowing me to be on your platform. I appreciate it.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
but can I use this for my content? Because I'm like, yo, I'm trying to build. Every little bit helps. If you're okay with it,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You can.
much
Perfectly
appreciated.
fine. Thank you for joining though.
All right. Stay blessed, Corey. All right. Peace out.
You
Take
too.
care. Bye.
All right. All right. We had a couple of people come on up. I appreciate y'all for taking time to come on up, man. Also, for some of you all that just joined, if you haven't seen, I do have a Discord group, so please feel free to join the Discord group if you're looking to connect, if you're looking to connect with other people that support, if you're looking to contact me, reach me, I give some motivational stuff on there, some tips, things like that. This is the link here if you haven't seen it just yet, but um you might can scroll up to find it. I'm not sure if I need to resend it in the comment section. Please let me know. But yeah, I do appreciate all you all for coming in, showing out on today, asking some great questions. I know I didn't get to a good bit of, let me see. I don't even know where I stopped at. Yeah, I didn't get to a good bit of them, but please join the Discord group. If I didn't answer your question here, I can definitely answer on there at some point. And we're just trying to have good, dope conversations on there. So if you're interested in it, it's free of charge, no hidden brand deals or nothing like that. It's just a way for us to connect. But I do plan to do one of these at least once a quarter, once every other month. So, stay tuned for the next one. And I apologize if I didn't get to your questions, because I did say I would stay on here for an hour. So I'm gonna go eat me some food because I ain't ate dinner yet. So I appreciate y'all for joining. Thank you for supporting. I wouldn't be where I'm at today without your support and you coming in and showing up for me as well. So the comments, the sharing, the likes, even reaching out on Instagram, it means a lot. Some of you all reach out via email sometimes. I might not answer because that's like just for business, but I do see it and I do appreciate it. But yeah, more stuff coming soon. you know um Stay on the lookout. I got some updates coming. A lot of things in the works for the rest of this year. And we're gonna keep thriving, we're gonna keep going, we're gonna keep pushing, and we're gonna keep creating. And I want you all to do the same thing, whether you're a content creator, whether you're in the corporate world, whether you're trying to get your entrepreneurial journey started. Hey, keep going, because the world needs you just like the world needs me in some type of capacity. You're here on earth for a reason, and figure that out. Figure out what your passion is, figure out why God brought you to this earth. You know what I'm saying? And that's your job. It's not just going to come to you magically. You got to try new things. You got to be out there. You got to be active. You got to figure things out. But it takes time sometimes. So don't put a time limit on it as well. Just because you 30, just because you 40, just because you 20, that don't mean you have to have your life figured out. Everybody has their own timeline, and your timeline is your timeline. It's not about your friend timeline, your family timeline, the timeline the university tell you. You got to go on your own pace, and that's how you really grow and level up and things like that. So I appreciate all y'all. I will catch y'all next video. Thank you for coming in on the live today. Good night. Peace.